All right, so Stranger Things Season 4, Volume 2 is available now on Netflix, and I know I am super late to reviewing it. Also, I know my shirt is a little too small for me and a little tight, but I don't give a shit, okay? Yeah, this is going to be a spoiler-only review. I was thinking of making a non-spoiler review for Volume 2 of Season 4, but I recorded like 15 minutes of it and realized I really couldn't say a whole lot without, you know, I wasn't spoiling anything, but there's really not a whole lot I could say if you haven't seen, the first volume or really any of the other seasons of Stranger Things. This is for the Stranger Things fans who want to hear me talk about the different things in the show, what I think about it, what I think about the gap between Volume 1 and Volume 2, what I think about the future of Stranger Things, what I think about the certain characters and what happened to them. Lots of crazy shit to talk about. I have so many notes right here. So let's just dive into it. But before I do that, actually, I do have to thank today's sponsor, which is Audible. If you go to audibletrial.com/popculturepodcast, you can get yourself a 30-day free trial of Audible Premium Plus, which includes, I think you get 1 credit or 2 for Prime members, which you can use towards any of their premium selections, so like audiobooks and stuff like that. You can buy those with that, and even when the 30-day trial is over, you still keep that Audible, or not Audible, the audiobook or whatever you end up getting with it, which I think is really cool. And if you're like me, you don't necessarily like to read and you don't really have a whole lot of time to read, but you might have time to listen to things, so you can listen to a lot of their exclusive original content. You got audiobooks, you have guided meditation, you have podcasts, you even have sleep sounds on there. They have all sorts of different stuff on Audible. So you definitely be supporting the channel, supporting me, and also supporting Audible, which is honestly a service I really love. I don't use it as much as I would like to, just because I'm so busy with everything I have going on. But when I have some time, I do like to go on there to listen to some of their podcasts. I do have a few audiobooks on there. One of them I actually am listening to on and off is, forget exactly what it's called, but it's basically like a novel version of Avengers Endgame, and it's awesome. So I mean, I'm a nerd. I love anything Marvel. So they have all sorts of different like Marvel related stuff. Or if you're not a Marvel fan, get yourself some Harry Potter. There's also all sorts of good audiobooks, podcasts, originals, guided meditation, and sleep sounds. So yeah, definitely go get yourself a 30-day trial of Audible Premium Plus. Like I said, that is audibletrial.com/popculturepodcast. Thank you very much, Audible, for sponsoring this video. And let's get to my review. Starting off with episode 8, called Papa. Basically, in this episode, 11 is still in that facility with Dr. Brenner and Dr. Owens, where she's trying to get her powers back. Spoiler alert, she ends up getting her powers back. But let me look at my notes here. Sorry if I'm not looking directly at you guys, but yeah, also sorry, it's really hot in here. This is a long sleeve shirt. I don't know what I was thinking. But yeah, 11, we see the flashback of her like watching the portal that she opened and put 1 into Henry/Vecna. She's watching it close. Dr. Brenner comes in, and at first I was like, does he not know what was going on with 1? Does he think that 11 killed all these people and shit went down? But no, we find out later on that he was actually looking at the cameras and saw everything happen. So, yeah, let me see here. Nancy, after we see her in Volume 1 at the very end, she's being taken control over by Vecna. And we find out that Vecna actually doesn't want to kill her. He wants her to warn 11 of what's coming. Maybe not warn her, but just like tell her what's coming and be like, hey, you can't avoid this. So here's what's coming. But also I thought that was kind of a stupid move on the villain's part. It's basically the villain, telling the hero their maniacal plan. But I mean, you do you, Vecna, I guess. Also, one thing I thought of in the last episode, I was like, damn, Vecna literally looks like a cross between Freddy Krueger, Drax the Destroyer, and the Grinch because he's got that gut. But yeah, let me see here. Like I said, Vecna isn't going to kill Nancy. He wants her to tell Eleven what's coming. Yeah, Hopper and Joyce, the reunite reunation. That's not a word. Seeing them reunite, I thought was great. And in the next episode, they end up, almost getting it on, but get a little distracted there by everything. But yeah, Nancy is having these visions of basically seeing Hawkins being destroyed, and it looks freaking insane. We also find out later that she saw a vision of her mom and her sister being killed, and I was like, damn, Vecna, you fucked up. Also, yeah, this review isn't for kids, but yeah, we see a Demodog tied up in the lab in the facility or the prison that Hopper is in. Hopper straight up just fucking shoots the thing. I was like, badass, Hopper, you're badass. The Demogorgon is loose, so it's killing a bunch of the Russian guards. Hopper and Joyce and Murray end up getting out of there. And they need Yuri to get them another plane. He ends up leading them to a crappy helicopter that's never even been flown by him and try to get him back to America. So, yeah, we'll see how that goes. But, it's great to see Hopper finally getting out of that prison. Looking great, by the way. What's his name? David Harbour. He definitely got in a lot better shape. I think he's looking great, dude. Hopper's looking slick, man. But, let me see here. We find out that the scientists there are making a bunch of clones of the Demogorgon and the Demodogs. And later on in the next episode, they actually come to life and start attacking. But, 11 gets shocked back to life. I kind of just wrote too many notes here, honestly. I wrote like every detail. But she does have her powers again. She lifts the tank that she was in. Let me see here. Nice moment with Will and Mike, but then you kind of see what's happening there. You find out that Will most likely is in love with Mike, and Will might be gay. But, I mean, they never fully address it. They never outright say it. I mean, Will and Jonathan have a moment in episode 9 where it's kind of like pretty much completely alluded to, but at the same time, I feel weird assuming, but at the same time, there's just so much foreshadowing and just so much laid out where it's like, how could this not be what it is? So go Will, live your life, man. And even though he can't end up with Mike, I hope he ends up with somebody nice. So yeah, let me see here. Dr. Brenner ends up dying in this episode, gets shot up by some soldiers. 11 brings down the helicopter and explodes, and then Mike and the others find her and get her out of there. But let me see here. Basically, the whole time taking my notes, I'm like, I think this person's going to die. I think this person's going to die. I think everybody's going to die. I thought Steve was going to die. I thought Robin was going to die. But who really ended up dying? I mean, obviously, everybody knows at this point, our boy Eddie died being a hero, trying to fight off the Demobats. He was doing good for a while, but they ended up getting him. And then Brenner as well. And those are the two big main deaths of the season. Aside from like Chrissy and the one other dude that was with Nancy. But yeah, I mean, Eddie was definitely hard, but I kind of saw it coming too because, the Duffer Brothers have a tendency to introduce characters and then kill them off in the same season. So I kind of saw it coming. What got me the most actually was the moment, and I don't know for sure if it was Eddie's uncle or his dad, but the moment that Dustin has with him, where he's basically saying that he was a hero and stuff, like that hit me harder than Eddie's death, honestly. But yeah, heartbreaking stuff there. And then what's even more heartbreaking, or at least equally heartbreaking, is the fact that Max almost died pretty much. She did die for a little bit. Her heart stopped for like a minute, I think they said. And 11 brought her back to life with her powers. And I know I'm going in between both episodes right now. Whatever. Also, I don't know how much longer this is going to be. My throat hurts because I already recorded like 15 minutes before this. But Also, it's late, so sorry if I'm feeling a little, or seeming a little slow and tired. It's because I am slow and tired. But yeah, the military showed up at the base. There was a crazy fight, and honestly, it reminded me exactly of the opening to A New Hope, Star Wars: A New Hope, where you have, you know, like the rebel soldiers waiting, just pointing their guns, waiting for something to come out, and then the stormtroopers come out, and then they start shooting at each other and stuff, and then Darth Vader shows up. It reminded me of that, honestly, where the soldiers in the base were just like standing there ready. You even got like a close shot at one of them, looked exactly like the shot from Star Wars. I was like, that's so cool. And then I feel like there was something else that kind of reminded me of Star Wars a little bit later on in the volume 2, and I think in episode 9, but I can't remember exactly what it is. But yeah, I mean, some crazy moments in episode 8, but where it really goes down is episode 9, and I was really worried about how they're going to wrap everything up, because after seeing all these Marvel Disney Plus shows like Hawkeye, not Miss Marvel yet because that hasn't wrapped up, but like Moon Knight, they typically have a little bit of an issue wrapping up their shows nicely and, you know, bringing all the stories together. But with this, I think they did a really good job, especially since we are going to get a season 5. It is confirmed that they're going to start filming. I forgot when they said they're going to start filming, but it's confirmed that it is going to come out in 2024 as long as COVID doesn't hit again and they have to delay shooting and stuff like that, which would make the kids even freaking older at that point. But sucks that we're gonna have to wait until 2024, but it is bound to be the craziest season and definitely the finale. I think they're gonna stop with season 5, because where else would they go from there? But Vecna overall wasn't my favorite villain. I thought the twist of him being one and all that was kind of cool, even though it was kind of spoiled for me. But I mean, overall, he wasn't the greatest villain of all time. He was fine. And the fact that he is connected to everything, so everything that happened with Hawkins and Will and all the kids and 11, like it's all connected to him, because basically we see a scene of him showing up in this other dimension or this other world, and he sees like the Demogorgons and Demodogs and the Mind Flayer and such. So basically takes over that world and does some crazy shit with it. I love it. Yeah, let me see what else I have for episode 8, if there's anything else in here I necessarily need to talk about. I was worried the entire time that they're going to kill Steve, and they didn't, so I was happy about that. But maybe next season they will, and if they do, I will be very sad because I love Steve. Yeah, with episode 9 called The Piggyback, we got Eddie, Dustin, Nancy, Steve, and Robin in the Upside Down, going to the Creel house in the Upside Down to go destroy Vecna's physical form, while Lucas, Max, and Erica try to lure him towards them in the real life, like Hawkins version of the Creel house. Throughout that, you know, Jason and one other, you know, basketball player dude that's with him, they show up. The other dude ends up tackling Erica, that motherfucker. And then Jason ends up going into the house, seeing what Max is like, thinking that Lucas is connected to it and all that. And so him and Lucas fight. Pretty good fight overall. Lucas definitely got some hard hits on him. They both got some hard hits on each other. But man, that Jason dude I do not like whatsoever. But at the same time, just looking at him, he looked like a zombie, basically. You know, there were bags under his eyes. His eyes were all bloodshot. It looked like he hadn't slept since Chrissy died. And like, damn, it was crazy, dude. And we saw him in the previous episode at the, you know, the ammunition whatever store, the weapons store, basically trying to find weapons and talking to Nancy about the guns and stuff, which actually gives Nancy the idea to do the sawed-off shotgun, because it's easier to hit your target when it's sawed off like that, I guess. But yeah, let me see here. 11 decides to do the whole sensory deprivation kind of thing, essentially, that she did in like season 1, all throughout Stranger Things, honestly. And she's going to use that to basically go into Max's mind and protect her from Vecna and fight him. He gets the best of her for a little bit there and almost kills Max, pretty much. Basically does kill Max. And then 11 gets out because Mike is talking to her and being like, I love you and shit. And then she just fucks that boy up. And then Nancy, Dustin, or not Dustin, but Nancy, Steve, and Robin in the Creel house. They set Vecna's body on fire. They fucked that boy up straight up. He's dead, kind of. But we find out at the end of the episode that he's not really dead, but he's like really hurt. Because Will can feel him. After coming back to Hawkins, he can feel all that. But let me see here. Eddie, basically what he does to lure the demo bats, he plays the guitar, which we saw in the trailers and we were all waiting for, and he played Master of Puppets by Metallica, and coolest fucking shit ever. Loved it. We find out, and this is the most important thing that we learn in this season, that Eleven likes pineapple and pizza, and I'm here to tell you, I like it too. It's not my preferred pizza, but I still like it. So go after me in the comments if you want. But let me see here. Bear with me. I mean, we all know that Eddie dies. That's what I said earlier. And like I said, I saw it coming, but the moment with Eddie's uncle or dad, I'm not sure which one, the one where Dustin's like, he was a hero, he died a hero, that's what got me the most. And then when Eleven found out that Vecna was behind everything, I was like, it was Vecna all along. Yeah, that was cringy. But let me see here. Yeah, basically Max, like, she's in a coma now, but when she was awake for a little bit, she couldn't see or feel anything. So we'll see what happens when she wakes up. If she wakes up, I'm sure she will by the next season. But yeah, Murray torches the Demodogs and Demogorgons in the prison, which was badass. And then one of them's still alive, so Hopper fights it with the sword, fucking cuts off one of the arms and beheads it. It's so fucking cool. Joyce and Hopper, you know, the chopper. Joyce and Hopper, the chopper. The helicopter that Yuri was fixing up is ready to go, so they're gonna head back to America. And then let me see here. Everybody, oh yeah. Basically, it skips 2 days. It says 2 days later, and we see Mike and the others heading into Hawkins. There's smoke everywhere. And we see a news report where they're basically like, it was a 7.4 earthquake. And then they're also talking about how, you know, they still think that Eddie Munson is behind the murders and stuff like that. And that, you know, what's it called? Hellfire. They think that's a cult. But, yeah, just basically establishing what other people would know at this point. Normal people. And then everybody gets reunited, which is so great. 11 and Mike and Will and all that, they come back and they meet with Lucas and Dustin and Nancy and all that kind of stuff, which I love. And then they're fixing up the old house where 11 and Hopper lived when a black car shows up, and they're like, oh shit, it's the government. And 11's in her room and somebody's coming. We're like, oh no, is it the government coming to take her away? No, it's just Hopper opening up the door, and oh my god, that moment is the second moment in this episode to make me cry. First one being that moment between Dustin and Eddie's either dad or uncle. Yeah, just seeing them finally reunite, that's what I needed in my life, honestly. And then they're talking about like, oh wow, you look a lot better. Hopper even hugged Mike, for fuck's sake. He didn't like Mike a lot. He kind of hated Mike, honestly, when him and 11 were together, and he was basically 11's dad, which he still is, honestly. Brenner, I said this, I was like, Brenner is her papa, but Hopper is her dad. And we're having all these nice moments when Will is the first person to notice it, feels something on the back of his neck, he looks around, and then ash starts to fall from the sky, and it's the first sign that their world is starting to collide with the Upside Down. They go to this grassy hill looking over Hawkins, and they see a bunch of smoke, and the flowers and the grass are turning gray and dying, and in that smoke you can see the red lightning, and that's how you know that Vecna is coming back for more. So shit is gonna get crazy in season 5. I mean, holy shit, man. I honestly, I don't fully know where this show's gonna go, but I know a lot of people are gonna die in season 5. Are they gonna split it up the way they did with this season? I kind of hope not, because I think it kind of did this show, or the season specifically, a disservice by splitting them up. I would have much preferred to watch them all in one go, and I don't know, the conclusion would have felt a little more satisfying if I didn't have to wait and have that gap. But we're all spoiled with streaming services nowadays. That's how people had to do it back in the day. Watch it, week to week, and maybe even have to wait months. That's how some people are still watching TV. That's how CW does it. So I'm just a little spoiled. A lot of people are, but I still think that it should have all been released at once. And I hope they don't do that with season 5, but there's a good chance they might. They basically just do it to have people subscribed for another month. So, which sucks because Stranger Things was really the only thing I was subscribed to Netflix for. So maybe I'll watch some other stuff while I still have it, but yeah. And that's all I really have to say about season 4, volume 2. Pretty long video for sure, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like I said, audibletrial.com/popculturepodcast. Get yourself a 30-day free trial of Audible Premium Plus. Leave a like on the video, comment down below. Have you, well, obviously, if you're watching this video, you've watched it, but what did you think of volume 2 of season 4 of Stranger Things? What did you think of the full season of season 4 of Stranger Things in general? I would love to know what you thought down below. Let me know. And please press that subscribe button as well as the notification bell so you never miss an upload. The next video coming out should be, I don't know for sure if I'm going to make an initial reaction video for Thor Love and Thunder. I might, like I did for Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. I am going to see it twice on Thursday, so maybe I'll do that. But it'll either be an initial reaction video, which will not have spoilers, or it'll be my non-spoiler review, and then most likely coming out on Friday would be my spoiler review. So we'll see how it goes. Yeah, and then The Boys wraps up on Friday too, so that review should be coming out maybe Friday or Saturday, maybe. I don't know, because I kind of want to see Thor again on Friday or Saturday, but I don't know. Maybe I'll just stick to the 2 times. But we'll see what it ends up being. Definitely a lot to talk about. Obviously, Ms. Marvel episode 5 is out now, so next week will be the final episode of that. I'm kind of happy just to have things be wrapping up, to be honest. I'm just like, oh my god, there's too much to watch. But yeah, that'll be wrapping up next week, so look out for that video. As for my episode 5 review of Ms. Marvel, we'll see when that ends up coming out, honestly. Maybe it'll come out tomorrow. We'll see. Or maybe I'll just wait to review it until next week when the final episode is out, and I'll just review the final 2 episodes. But we'll see what I end up doing. Maybe the next video will be that Ms. Marvel episode 5 spoiler talk, so we'll see, like I said. But leave a like on the video, comment down below, subscribe, push the notifications bell, head over to audibletrial.com/popculturepodcast. I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching.